Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to our show. Because I'm doing well, because I'm having a wonderful day on the 2nd of June. I just wanted to make a quick video to say thank you to people. The crazy thing when you make content every single day is that life changed a lot. Life changed a lot in the last year. I did a thank you note for last year, and I wanted to do again a thank you to people that are close to me. It'll be a small list, but a really meaningful list. I want to thank the first person I want to thank are my parents, of course, my father and my mom. Lately, it's been a bit more complex. I was in a lot of troubles, mental problems, financial troubles. They were there behind me and were offering me guidance, so that's super important. I want to thank also Janice. Janice, you've been there for almost a year and a half, almost 2 years now. The birthday date is in July. You know that I don't know it, and it's a power play because now Janice like, oh, you know, it's this day. I'm like, bro, I don't remember. So yeah, so Janice, you've been there for me for a long ass time, bro. I am super grateful. Of course, I'm gonna talk about Andrew. I'm gonna talk about Michael. Kind of like my little brother. It's fun to see. Michael and so you see with Janice, there's this friendship, but there's also this relationship of this guy is super good where I'm lacking. There's this symbiosis of you're good and the behind the scene. I'm good when it comes to making content. He's possibly better than me at making content, but he doesn't. So there's this really cool relationship of help me here and I'll take care of this. You'll help me here, and he's so willing to help. It's just so nice to see, and at the same time, it is such a weird thing because you would say, well, okay, well, wasn't it for him, right? And Janice is an amazing person that really wants to help, and he often feels guilty about not being able to help. So I want to give him opportunity to help because that's what he's always asking me. But also the fact that, for example, right, and I was seeing this as kind of like I'm not a big YouTube, I'm not a big content creator, but still, you see someone content creator and you're like, why are people so willing to do stuff for them? And you kind of realize that, for example, someone watches your videos a lot and he wants the video to be improved because he's watching them a lot. Like, for example, Genesis is like, yo, you should buy a green screen. And I never used it, but he knows that I have it. So if I need it, I was there, you know? And it's cool because he's watching a lot of the videos, possibly the person that's been around the channel for the longest. And for the longest, meaning the one of the person, if not the person, that has involved himself with the content as much as he has. I think it's Genesis that wins that cup. I think as a watcher, but also as a friend, he's been there for me since a long ass time. Michael and Andrew. Michael and Andrew, it's super nice because again we're Canadian. We have a lot of things in common. And it's nice because I like having them around because I'm held accountable when it comes to them. They're like my little brothers, and I want to show them not necessarily the path of life, not necessarily how this would work, but just being a good role model for them. Because at the end of the day, I was lucky enough to have a good role model. I was born in one of the best decades, which is the 90s. I'm seeing this nowadays, and I'm like, oh, holy shit. I have to try to be the best person I can be. I want to thank Dofi. Dofi, t'as été là pour moi, man. T'as été là pour moi since day one, bro. T'as été là depuis un but Dofi, tu marques des commentaires. Des fois, j'ai pas le temps de répondre. J'ai pas la force mentale de répondre. Mais t'es toujours là. Tu me supportes toujours. T'es tout le temps, tout le temps gentil. Tout le temps gentil. Merci, bro. There's so many people else that I could have done. I wanted to do a short. These right here are my 3 MVPs. I feel like I'm forgetting. I feel like this is not a good video to make because I forget people. It's just that I woke up today feeling grateful, and I want to showcase. And I feel like because this is a day-to-day thing, I feel like in it, it's like at work, right? It's not the nicest person that is you're gonna be thankful for. Is the person that's nice every single day. With those 3, they're super freaking kind. Like yesterday was such a good time. I have Anna who is, even if she cannot be there, she always make an effort to help. Anna is, I didn't know her for that long, so it's more recent. I think it's like 2 months. Versus Mikey and Andrew that's been a year, almost a year. Janice has been 2 years, and Dofi has been like there for a month and a year and a half. It's funny because it's funny because you have people just like just come and go in your life, right? And they used to be very present, and now they're not present, or you just grew apart. And as a content creator, and with content creator, it's even more so. For example, right? I had a friend that I was playing this certain game with, and then I don't play the game. Those friends I don't have anymore, right? I also want to give a shout out to Sir Winslow. Sir Winslow is unequivocally one of the nicest person that I know. It's nice because when I was making this video, I was like, okay, well, who helps with content? Who helps you? For example, Doofy. Doofy, I know that he's always gonna be super positive. So whenever I have a bad day, I just have to go to the comments and look at the positive comments. I know that the positive comments are Doofy, Mikey, and Andrew. I know they're super often in the live. I know they like to chill a lot. They're super nice, and it's always like good talk. Like for example, 2 days ago, Andrew was talking about how he's feeling, and then we talked a little bit about that. I tried to help him out, and I was like, "Fuck your help. You should watch this show, Snowfall, which is really good." And I've watched this show, and the fact that, I don't like saying this, but when your friend recommend a show to you, and they tell you, bro, it gets good, and you're like, okay, well, I trust you. So it's more like, okay, well, the show is kind of good, but it's more because my boy told me about it. Janice, where else can I start? See, Janice, what I love about Janice is he's very vocal about what he's doing. For example, right, he's gonna say, better than that, Janice, in his way of being vocal, I'm gonna have a problem, I'm gonna have a situation. Or for example, when I was working, and I don't know if that's true, but when I was working like 10, 12 hours days during the months of August, June, July, I was working way too much, and Janice was kind of the only person that understood where I was coming from when I was aggressive or mean. That was really, these people are more so viewer. So when you see somebody like Kyle Sir Winslow as a content creator, it's fun because I'm like, bro, this is first of all, we're kind of the same age. We grew up around the same stuff. We're both Canadian. I don't care where you're from. I'm not saying oh, we gotta be friends if you're not Canadian. It's just when you're Canadian, there's a lot of things like, for example, Andrew was talking to me about the game. The final game of the Canadian, and it was a crazy game, right? And I don't know if somebody else from another country would have talked a bit about this for me. Just the current event is just how it goes, It's worth it. With Kyle, we have that. He is like me. He's insane, but in a professional manner, and super chill. Super chill. He's one of the only content creators that I know that isn't always like, yo, let's collab, or yo, if you like my shit, I'll like your shit. And I just say, again, I have the word symbiosis in my mind of two people working together and accomplishing great things. It's just so worth it. Like, in summer, I'll be live more often. I'll have the girls again, So, I'm doing this video. It's a different video that I was planning to make. At first, it was like, yo, thank you guys. Thank you to a certain amount of people for helping me out, but it's more than that. These people affect the content I make. For example, when I talk to Doofy, I'm very soft because he's a really good dude. I talk to Mikey and Andrew, I'm a bit more how can I say that? A bit more of an asshole. I push them because, that's what a bigger brother do. I talk with Janice, it's nuts. You guys don't understand. I was doing a TikTok live, and I've been doing TikTok live. I've been back as doing TikTok live for about 20 minutes, right? And Janice was there talking to me, and before I knew it, it was an hour and a half. You know, this affects your content. This is better. This is you give out more. But if you don't talk or you don't have something interesting to say, you tend to last less long. For example, today we did a TikTok live and I was boring because I didn't have the stimulus, right? And these people, they affect your content. They affect how you react to the content, right? I'm seeing a lot of people saying, "Hey, are you pro Palestine or pro Gaza?" You know, and you have to put yourself in a situation where you make a choice. Whether if you're surrounded with people that kind of have not necessarily have your back, but there's people that are gonna be there for me. For example, there was this guy, right? There was this guy 3 days ago. I was on the live and he was talking shit, and he wasn't really talking shit. He was just kind of talking shit. And then Andrew he muted him. And I was like, I would have not muted him, but I would have not muted because what he was saying, it was kind of like, oh, I'm being trolly. I'm not attacking you directly. It's more like I'm a troll that don't attack you. There's a lot of trolls that have been attacking people, which sucks. Then Andrew, he muted him, and I was like, I would have not muted him, but I'm glad he did, you know. And what I was going with the Palestinian Gaza, it's just like some people will try to have you some in the gacha moments, and those gacha moments are the worst. But that's also for real life. I had calls from, that is so stupid. I had a call last week from the government. And because I didn't know I was the government, it took me a while to, you know, to get to the mental headspace of, okay, well, this is serious, this is a lot of money. But yeah, so I wanted to do a little video to say thank you to those people. And I'm forgetting a lot of people, but it's when you, it's when you come and do the day. It's when you come to the day. So for example, okay, I just woke up. Like I said, I fucked up my rib. I was working out yesterday, I fucked it up. I have a hard time walking. So I was like, okay, I woke up and I was feeling grateful, and I was feeling like, who is grateful? And again, all those people, Dofi, Mike and Andrew and Janice, even Hannah, they've been around, you know, for this week. And when I speak about this grateful, it's really a hard video to make because I'm not Ing Vendetta. My name is Stefan. You guys know that. I am a real person. You guys know that. So when it comes to making a video about who you're grateful, it's more about who is Ing Vendetta is grateful for, and that's more content than personality. There's a lot of people that I'm talking to behind the scenes that I would love to shout out. Gothic Bunny, RG Baby. RG Baby, we've been friends for 4 fucking years. There's so many people that I would like to say thank you for, but it's more so in a personal fashion. It's more so, see, there's also the case of, you know, when you go to work, right, and your boss says, thank you for this good job. He is thankful for the job, but he's not thankful for who you are, right? And I got a feeling that like a lot of those relationships are are built on a more human aspect. Like with Gothic, is actually quite special. Gothic Bunny, she was my 600 follower. 600. That was I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago, or 3 to 4 months ago. I don't remember. Let's say 4 months because I think that's the one. And I was like, yo, you make me happy, you're a really nice person. Would you do me the honors of being my 600th follower? I was like, I'll be honored. And then we started talking, and we never talk about content. And we always talk about, we're similar age, talk about bands. She's a mom, she's talking about how it is to be a mom, you know. And it's wonderful. But at the same time, this is more so, this is more Stefan and Vendetta. With this video, what I'm realizing as I'm making this video, because again, I'm thinking I'm making the video, this is not planned. But what I'm thinking is there's this content creator that most content creators always say, not everything is content. Not everything is content. And I tend to disagree. I tend to say like, yo, everything can be content. With the right mindset, everything can be. I bought this fucking anthill a year ago. It was, oh my god, it was a long time ago. We bought this anthill. It was last October. I'll do a video about it because I'm gonna start it today. We have a little bit of a ant over here. And I just never thought about it, right? Or for example, there's this really embarrassing thing. This really embarrassing thing. Oh my god, I don't want to talk about it. So there's this video that you guys love, which is the strawberry moon. We went hunting for strawberry moon. Now this video is very special because oh, this is embarrassing. This video is very special because I went out to hunt it, and because I went out to hunt it, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I went to place. Okay, so it's complex. I know that the sun is going down on this side, right? So because this is, by the way, this is west. And this is east. I know that the sun is going down on this side, and they told me that the peak of the moon, or the strawberry moon, is freaking when it rises. So I know that I have to go to the east. I have to go to the east because the east is gonna come like this, right? I have to watch it at the east. However, at the east there was more cloud than at the west. I didn't get it, and I was kind of like, oh my god, this sucks. This really sucks. And the best thing about this, is I come back, and this is a true story, I swear. I come back. I want to take a shortcut because I don't remember what happened. I think it was a block street. I go out and I'm disappointed because I didn't see the moon. And I go into a fucking parking lot. And I swear to God, for possibly 6 minutes, 7 minutes, I saw the moon, right? But this video is special because I prepared myself to get the strawberry moon. And that was special. What am I reading today in the Googles? There's another one, you know? There's another one. I didn't know that was a yearly thing. I just went in head down. I would have Janice said, no bro, there's another one. Janice, ooh. Oh my god, this is embarrassing. Janice doesn't do TikTok, but told me yesterday, yo, there's a new level for TikTok. And I'm like, the heck are you talking about? He knows that shit, you know? And it's just that I'm thankful for. When I was talking about how people say everything is about content, right? I disagree. I think everything, again, in the right mindset could be content. I did the video, I'm so sorry. I was talking to them about Strawberry Moon, one of my favorite videos, because I had more fun planning the thing, going to the thing, than just watching the moon, right? But there's no climax of the video, there's no moon, right? Where I understand what people mean, and it takes maturity to understand that. I understood what people meant with that everything is content. Just being an innocent present. Somebody's talking to you about, I had Gothic Bunny, about how her youngest just took her first steps not too long ago, and it was a beautiful moment. She was so happy, and she was also sad because this is her, okay. So she has I'm not gonna say a lot of kids, but she had a couple kids, right? I think it's 3, and she didn't want any more kids, so she got a operation not to have kids, because she doesn't want to abort. She doesn't want to. She you know. So she talked to me about how her youngest. She talked to me about how her youngest took a step, and she was sad because she said, I'll never feel that again. I'm never gonna have children again, and I'm never gonna have that again. And it was a bittersweet of the my baby's walking, but it was also the bittersweet of I'll never have this again, right? It is a new step. As a content creator, what I understood, which is actually quite nice, is that this makes so much sense, but at the same time it makes so little sense, because you would make content, right? You would make content and you would be like, yo, you would make content. You would be like, yo, my baby fucking, he walked. And I'm so proud of him. But there's not this you always hear like, this is my baby first step. This is his first word, right? This is his first word, and it's never about like, yo, that was a huge moment in the history of this person, and did we really enjoy it? The same thing for concert. The same thing for concert. You see concert and you see people having their phone out, or they're having an event, they're having their phone out. I saw this thing that was really how the thing that was really human. Again, I told you guys the thing before. It's I don't remember what place it is. I think it's Philippines, and there's floods, and she comes and interview a woman. She has water tail hair, and the woman brings a reporter a banana, I don't know how I call it, a fucking it's like a grape, if you will, a banana, a group of banana. They're all tied together, and she gives it. And this woman, she has nothing left. She still found a way to give something out, and this is what I mean by how hard it is to say thank you to people as Ink, because you want to say thank you to people as Steph. Like this person, she had the banana in her hand, and it was a beautiful moment of television, because it was like, yo, some people are still nice, they have nothing, but they're still very generous, right? But it was the sadness behind it. The reporter was crying, said this person, they have nothing, but it's still the gesture of doing that, and the gesture of doing that is, yes, it's content creation worthy, but the human behind it, the human emotion behind it, that's so hard to put in the video, right? Anyway, we've gone long enough. I'm sorry I took so much time. This is such a confused mess. The real, like I said, the real reason I'm doing this video is because I woke up and I had this pain, but just it was Janice yesterday. With Janice, because I don't, Janice, we used to talk every single day because I used to stream every single day. Now I haven't streamed. He's more, see, that's the thing. A lot of people are more a platform or the other. Janice is more stream, right? So when I don't stream, we don't talk as much. And just seeing him yesterday and how long it's been and how good it's been to talk to him, just made me realize how much I miss people, right? And this morning, we've been doing really good. And I feel like after the depression that we had last month, I think it's a good thing to be like, yo, this is what's going on right now. This is what's going on right now. The Queen. Just got the Queen. Hell yeah. This is what's going on in my life right now, and this is what I have to be grateful for. And at the same time, a lot of people say, oh, you didn't say thank you to me. And it feels, and I'm sorry to say, like, I had a lot more people to talk about. Like, when I was thinking about, okay, who can I talk about? There's a lot more people. But it's like, how long can you be grateful for? I saw Shao, and I love Shao, and he randomly commented on a video and said, yo, what's good, my boy? And he saw me and he was being nice, But I'd like, Shao, I haven't talked to him in like a month, and I know he's busy, but I still haven't talked to him in a month. So it's really, I don't think I'll ever be able to differentiate, okay, well, this is a Steph friend and an Ink friend, If you're a content creator, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's so many people that you want to let in your life, but some people, there's people that I wouldn't let in, And I don't think that's a bad thing. I was talking about Canadian, and I should be talking about Canadian because a lot of people yo, I'm Canadian too. And I'm like, okay, well, if the reason why we bond is because we're from the same race, it's better if we bond from, hey, common interest, right? That we happen to be born at the same time. I was watching TikTok today, and I was watching a lot of the Gen. I think I'm a millennial, but I'm not sure. I think I'm Generation Y. I'm Generation Y because I'm 93. And I was like, these people, they lived through it. They saw iCarly. They were watching Linkin Park. They were listening to MTV. I saw today, and this was actually crazy. I saw today, and it was actually crazy. And you see, and this is also something that's really, really, really amazing. I was watching today this person who was reacting to the. She was reacting to the what should we call it? She was reacting to the MTV Jersey Shore, and she was reacting to the Jersey Shore, and she was like, "We don't have reunion like that, and we didn't appreciate reality TV back then, But then you see these, and it's just great TV. For example, we have Mike's situation, and again, I'm gonna go off tangent here. If the thank you are finished, you can skip the video. You had Mike Sorrentino, and Mike was like a douchebag. Mike would call women fat. He would call them. He would call them. He would call women fat. He would call, if ugly woman grenades. He was an asshole. He was an asshole. But when you realize had a Mike had a drug issue. He had a addiction to opioid. I think he talked about Oxycontin and cocaine, and he had a lot of problem with that, right? And that's why he was acting the way he was. And then there's this very specific moment where one of the house guests or one of the cast was treating his girlfriend like shit, and she was also the cast. And Mike was the only one to go to the girl and say, "Hey, he's fucking abusing you. This is shitty. This is very shitty." And I'm getting emotional because this is exactly what I mean by this video, you know. And you know that Mike he has a younger sister, and he loves his younger sister. He loves her. He really, really do. So he saw this person on cast as his younger sister, and you know, it sucks because you're you know, he's acting like a dick, and you're like, dude, you don't really care about the situation. You just want to do some drama. And people were like, yo, he broke bro code, and Mike was one of the bros, right? But then what's really sad, what is really, really sad is we didn't understand it, and now we're more mature and we understand that what he did was the right thing to do. And there's this scene which breaks my heart, and the boys are asking Mike, why did you break the bro code? And he was saying, what about the general human code, you know? And it was all questioned. And on the surface, look at Jersey Shore as this fucking craziness. You watch Jersey Shore for the same reason you watch Jerry Springer, because they're crazy people, you know. But then they grew up. They're more mature now. See them as adults, and you're happy for them, you know. But in a specific moment, he was a realist out there, and he was hated for it, you know. He was a realist out there. He was the most hated. And why this makes me so emotional is because I don't compare myself. I'm not going through what he's going through. But Mike was the situation. And again, if I did this specific video 2 days ago, I would never mention this. Mike was the situation. Anybody called him the situation, and that was his public persona, right? And this moment, it was Mike. One of my favorite band. One of my fucking favorite. And I talked about this yesterday. One of my favorite band ever is System of a Down. I love System of a Down. I love it. System of a Down, which was one of the most, one of the band that sold the most album, the most CDs. They really, really were popular. And then at some point, they took a stance. So System of a Down, the members are from Armenia, and Armenia is a lot of war for religion. Right? And when you look at songs like BYOB, what they're talking about, this is what I talk about when they talk about the toxicity of the city. That's what they're talking about. When they're talking about, there's just a lot of song that they had. Deer Dance, the sad song, the prison song, right? The Forest, Aerials, you know, Chop Suey. There's all this implication of what was happening. And they were told, shut the fuck up, play some music. You know? I don't think I'll ever get a good relationship between Ink and Steph. And I've had this problem for a long time now. This problem of, am I really, am I a different version? Am I a different person? And it's so complex because I'm watching a video of myself, right? And I'm laughing because I couldn't believe I said that. And I'm laughing because of the ADHD, and I'm like, dude, you know, this is not normal. But you're allowing yourself to be yourself, right? it's all this bullshit. For example, someone, it was Addison Rae, right? That's how long it was ago. And Addison Rae, she went to a UFC event, and she shook the hand of Donald Trump. People were canceling her. People were canceling her, right? They would say, "Oh, she's a fucking, she voted for Trump and shit like that." No, dude. She was a young girl, right? Who had some celebrity status, and she had a chance to meet with the president. How many people can say that I met with the president? How many people can say I shook the hand of the president? Now, technically speaking, who gives a shit, president or not? But at the same time, you're like, dude, it's possibly the most powerful person in the nation, and this is possibly the person that is gonna suffer the most criticism. But no matter what they do, right? You cannot make everybody happy, and people cancel her for that. Or at the same time, we had Charlie D'Amelio. You guys know what I'm talking about. Charlie, possibly one of the most popular TikToker. I don't remember. I don't know if she still is. I don't keep up with the D'Amelio, right? And then she had a supper. It was her biggest scandal. Her biggest scandal was she had 95 million followers, and she's like, I would like to hit 100 million followers. And of course, it's a bratty. Of course, it's privileged. Of course, it's like, dude, you have 95. That's a lot. That's more than enough. But then you guys forget that she's fucking 16. She's immature. That's normal. We all fell down. Each and every one of us at this moment where we felt like a god. We felt like a god. We felt this delusion of grandeur, right? Mine, oh my god. Mine was, I have to say, I think it was 2014, 2015. I was working two jobs. A job in the morning that lasted for 5 hours. A job at night that lasted for 8 hours. I would go to sleep. I would cook some rice. I would wake up, get the rice out of the number of time I burned my hand, get the rice out of the oven, and go back to sleep. And I did that for 7 months, and I had this illusion of grandeur because even though I was taxed, even though the agency company took their cuts, I was still clearing 1,200. I was the person at the agency that was making the most, and I felt fucking invincible. Then I got sick. I don't remember what I had when I got sick. No, I didn't get sick. I hurt my leg is right. I dropped a piece on my ankle, and I couldn't walk without. I couldn't walk. I could walk, but I was having a bad limp. And I just went away from work, and a bit after when I got back, I quit the job. Like I was like, dude, you work so much. Did it really bring you happiness? But at that time, I felt invincible. I was talking to myself like I'm the most valuable fucking employee here because I'm making the most money. No, that's not true. Truth is, I was working at two jobs, and the truth is, I wasn't really pulling my weight at a two job, I was just there to be there. Truth is, I didn't give a shit about the two job. I just give a shit about the paycheck. Right? It was shitty. I was a shitty human being. Not because I wanted to be a shitty human being, but just because I was. It was my illusion of grandeur. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, this is it. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.